Hello, Stat 424 students. In the last lecture, we talked about pairwise comparisons, in which we compared two means from our different levels of our factor, and we looked at two different ways of performing all those pairwise comparisons: Fisher's LSD and Tukey's HSD. Fisher's LSD was a method that was considered a protected test, in that first you would perform the overall ANOVA test and then you would do the pairwise comparisons. But other than that, there wasn't anything to help keep the probability of committing a type 1 error low. On the other hand, Tukey's HSD, the honest significant difference, is a method that does keep the probability of a type 1 error at the nominal level of alpha that we generally want. So when we're thinking about which method that we would want to use, generally speaking, Tukey's method is preferred. That's what I see used across almost every case. So if you don't know what to use, using Tukey's HSD is a good call. That said, there can be situations where you're not really worried about type 1 error. You're not really worried about falsely rejecting null hypotheses. Maybe you're in more of an exploratory context or something like that. And in that case, Fisher's LSD is a fine approach. Next, we're going to pivot away from these pairwise comparisons and talk about how we can do other more complicated comparisons of means for our levels of our factors. And the tool that we're going to be using is called linear contrasts. Linear contrasts include the pairwise comparisons that we've already talked about, but also include other comparisons that we haven't yet talked about.